Hey, good afternoon, guys. This is Coach Bill with Weight Loss Made Easy Solution. Today is Saturday afternoon. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today, guys, my topic is a kind of more of a serious topic, guys, because it is an issue, and it just seems like in the last couple of years of Emily and I working with type 2 diabetics, the issue isn't serious enough for the medical professionals to really educate their clients or their patients about how serious type 2 diabetes is. So that's basically the topic today, guys, is that you guys who have type 2 diabetic, or if you know somebody that is type 2 diabetic, or even if you're pre-diabetic, you guys really need to understand this is a very serious condition that is now showing it's leading into life-threatening other diseases. It just blows me away when I do a consultation with a type 2 diabetic and ask them a few questions about, well, what did your medical professional or your doctor, what have they told you about about type 2 diabetes? What have they told you about the side effects of long-term of type 2 diabetes? And then what did they tell you about when they prescribed the medication? What did they tell you were the side effects of those medications long-term? Or is it you just didn't ask them any questions? And what's really sad, guys, is most of the people I talk to, they have no idea the seriousness of their disease. And so they're just thinking that, okay, the doctor's prescribing me medication and it's going to fix my diabetes, which over time you guys will find out it does not reverse type 2 diabetes. Medication that they prescribe will not ever reverse your type 2 diabetes, and that's because it does not address the root cause. Ask your doctor that. Ask them, does the medication you're prescribing to me reverse my type 2 diabetes? And most of them will give you an honest answer. Now, guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm not subscribing anything. I'm giving you information. I'm educating you on what we've learned over the last 40 years, especially in the last 2 or 3 years. Emily and I have worked with quite a few type 2 diabetics. Actually, I've been working with them for about 9 years now that I think back. And so we've worked with quite a few of them, and we've been able to help most all of them who follow the structure or the protocols that we offer consistently over time, very quickly, and we're actually helping them reverse the type 2 diabetes and get them off the medication. And this is for the young and old. Now, honestly, I would never want to have that DR next to my name because I will never want to be governed under the AMA. There are some really good MDs out there that are governed under the AMA, and their hands are tied. They will lose their license if they try to prescribe any alternative medicine or try to give you their patients a natural way, which is now proven by science and which other doctors are doing, a natural way of actually reversing your type 2 diabetes. It's not genetic, so who's ever telling you it's genetic is BS. And if a doctor is telling you or a health professional is telling you that it can't be reversed without medication, they're lying to you. Doctors are doing it now. They've been doing it for over decades now, and there's so much science on it now that they're showing proof with real live human research that type 2 diabetes can be reversed simply. Like I said, Emily and I have become specialists in reversing type 2 diabetes with our clients by just changing their lifestyle. And what that means, guys, is what we're doing is we're changing the way they're eating, we're changing the time they're eating, and we're changing the type of water they're drinking. And all three of these protocols are all backed by science, which will be, I'll have the science listed with this video in the description section. But I want you guys to fully, those of you that have type 2 diabetes or are pre-diabetic, you guys got to really realize that this is very serious and it's getting worse. And this is how bad it's getting. This is what the CDC is saying now about type 2 diabetes here in the United States. They are now saying that type 2 diabetes is increasing by 4.5% every year. That to me is low. I mean, if you go to the store, or if you go to the public parks, or if you go to the beach, or you go to Disneyland or Knott's Farm, sit down for about a half hour, 45 minutes, look around, and look at the people that are overweight. Most likely, they're either pre-diabetic or they're type 2 diabetic. And you will see the amount of people that are overweight, and that because of the environment today, the toxic environment and all the toxins on the food, and plus that the standard Western diet that most of all these people are on, that's one of the root causes of why people are type 2 diabetic. Okay, so you could just look for yourself. It's out there. It's not me. I'm telling you this, but it's not me. You can just see it for yourself. Now, this to me, guys, is serious. This is very sad. And you parents that have kids, you guys really need to look at what could happen if you don't educate your kids on health. If you don't take control of their diet, if you don't take control of what they're eating, this is what's going to happen to your child. Now, you got to remember, type 2 diabetes was an adult disease. That's what it was. It was an adult disease. Well, now, today, this is what the CDC is saying, that type 2 diabetes in the young is increasingly every single year. They're saying that over, let's see if I can find, okay, here it is. Adults, they're looking at 100 million U.S. adults are now living with type 2 diabetes here in the United States. Now, kids, what's happening with them is they're saying that type 2 diabetes in kids is increasing by 4.5% every year. That's in kids, okay? From the ages of 1 through 19 years old. Now, remember what I said, that this used to be an adult disease, and now it's increasing in the kids that are 1 to 19 years old by 4.5% every year. What's the root cause? What's causing this? Well, you have to look at the standard American diet these kids are on. You have to look at the environmental toxins that the kids are subjected to. And what's really sad is parents, or why I don't know why the medical professionals don't educate these people. But if a child is getting type 2 diabetic at a young age, like 3, 4, 5, or 10, or 11, then they're going to have it through their whole adult life, and just the side effects of long-term diabetes is really bad. And why I don't know why, people that have type 2 diabetes doesn't take this seriously. Either they're not educated, or they don't want to know, or they're just listening to a doctor who is uneducated and not giving them the truth. See, I want to give you the bad news first. I want you to know what you're getting yourself into, or what you're leading yourself into. But then I'm going to give you the good news after that. So if you understand the bad news, and then you look at the good news, it makes things much, much better. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about, and I have to admit, it's been, Emily and I have been working with type 2 diabetics. I think I mentioned myself, I think I mentioned it for about nine years. But we really, in the last couple of years, Emily and I both have become specialists with helping type 2 diabetics, and we have helped some type 1s. But mainly type 2 diabetics reverse type 2 diabetes and get them off the medication, okay? And no, it's not genetics. I don't know if I mentioned that yet or not, so don't let anybody tell you it is. It is not genetic. And what it is, though, it is driven by the food you're eating, and it's driven by the water you're drinking, and it's driven by imbalanced hormones. And so you're not going to reverse your type 2 diabetes with medication because it doesn't address the root cause. You got to address the root cause if you want to reverse it. And how do you do that? Well, you have to change your lifestyle, just like I said previously. And that's what we do to help people in our 12-week type 2 diabetes program that helps them reverse it. Is we give them the whole roadmap, the whole plan. We give them their meals, we give them their time that they're going to eat, and we also monitor it. So we're doing much more than your medical professional is, because they're just giving you the medication that's not doing anything. Okay, so you have to take control of what goes in your mouth, and you have to take control of certain hormones that are causing the root cause for your type 2. Once you understand what the root cause is, it makes a lot of sense, and you'll get it. And it's really not that hard. And actually, I've had clients that have actually improved their glucose level from like 164 to 120, 110 within 4 or 5 days of changing their lifestyle. Some people will. The issue is you can't do this short term. You need to do this long term. If you want to see the results of getting yourself down to the healthy level of 74 to 84 your sugar levels consistently, you got to do this consistently. You got to do it over a certain amount of time, and you got to do it for the rest of your life, because if you don't, it'll come back. So let's go right to the bad news. Okay, this is the bad news, guys. The Mayo Clinic. Now, the Mayo Clinic is telling us that the side effects of type 2 diabetes is heart and blood vessel disease. That's true, it is. The other one is nerve damage. That's true also. And then this is the one that I don't understand why the health professionals aren't emphasizing more about, because I've seen some major issues with this over my 9 years, especially in the last 2 years. What happens on this particular side effect, if you don't take care of your type 2 diabetes, and if you don't do it consistently, you can't do it just by every other day. You can't do it by every other week. You got to do it every day for a period of time if you're going to reverse it. And that's called kidney damage. I don't know why they don't emphasize more about this, but they don't. And I have seen it. I have seen it where I worked with a 75-year-old man who's been on medication, a certain medication, for 9 straight years for his type 2 diabetes. And one day he goes to Kaiser to get a checkup, and the doctor says, "Whoa, wait a minute, your blood test is showing your kidney counts are way high. What's going on? I'm going to have to send you to a kidney specialist and see what's going on." Well, he's been on the metformin for 9 years straight, not even getting off of it at all, not rotating it, not doing anything. So he goes to the kidney doctor, and the doctor says, your kidneys are failing. You're about 3 points away from going on dialysis. That is one of the side effects of type 2 diabetes. Kidney failure, dialysis. You don't want to go there. You do not want to go there. Trust me, I lost my mom, and because she was stubborn and she wouldn't listen to me. But you do not want to go there because of the suffering it is. And it's horrible, absolutely horrible. Okay? And so you need to, that's one big factor. You need to really understand why you need to reverse this type 2 diabetes naturally. Like I said, medication is not going to do it. Okay, because you do not want to ever go on dialysis, and you don't want to lose your kidneys. So what we had to do with the 75-year-old man is we completely changed his lifestyle, and he reversed it. And his kidney counts went normal. So that is the good news, guys. It can be reversed, just like type 2 diabetes. It can be reversed if you stick to the protocol and you stick to it consistently. That's the key word, is consistently. There's no wavering off the road. There's no, you don't have time to mess around and try to experiment with different foods. You just don't have time. Okay, the other side effects of a type 2 diabetes is eye damage. That's normal. I've seen guys and gals who've lost their eyes because they did not take care of their type 2 diabetes, so they lost their eyes. That's part of the side effects. Slow healing, that's a major one. So, I mean, I don't see anywhere in the research where they really emphasize on diabetic ulcers. I mean, I know it's there, but I couldn't find it. I've seen it, guys. I've seen what diabetic ulcers are. I've seen the damage it's done to somebody's limbs, feet, head, arms. I mean, I worked with a guy that had a diabetic ulcer on his foot, and it wasn't healing. It was getting worse. So guess what he contracted because it wasn't healing, because the infection was not healing. He contracted MRSA. You guys know what MRSA is? It's a flesh-eating disease. You know how bad it was for him? They actually took a black pin and put a circle on his ankle, just above his ankle, and they were going to cut off his foot. Well, we started working with him by changing his lifestyle and using some very strong 2.5 acidic water that my ionized device makes. And the 2.5 strong acidic water is known by science to kill 99.9% of all bacteria. And so by doing it every single day, we killed it. We killed the MRSA. So it also affects your hearing. That's another thing. And I already talked about the skin condition. It does. It helps with, that's one of the side effects. Sleep apnea is a side effect. The other one is Alzheimer's. They're now saying that that's part of a side effect from type 2 diabetes. So, guys, there's so many others. Another one, the last but not the least, is probably the worst. And they're now saying that type 2 diabetes side effect could lead to cancer. I've seen it. So that's why you need to reverse it. That's why you need to take care of it. And like I said, medication isn't going to do it. Now, this is why medication isn't going to do it. So here's the bad news again. I'm giving you the bad news again on the medication. Obviously, the first thing a doctor wants to do is put you on certain medication. I think the most popular one out there is metformin. But the problem with it is that they don't tell you what the side effects are. Now, I don't know. I don't know who's writing this stuff. I don't know if it's a pharmaceutical that are writing these blogs that are saying that metformin does not cause kidney failure over a long period. I'm talking about a long period, like 8, 9, 10 years of taking it, because that 75-year-old man that I was talking about. He was on metformin for 10 years, or 9 years. And then out of the blue, the doctor says his kidneys are failing. Well, guess what? When we took him off or when we reversed his type 2 diabetes and got his glucose down to a consistent, healthy level, guess what happened to the kidney count? He got off the metformin. Yeah, he was able to get, because we got his blood sugars down to a healthy level consistently. Guess what the doctor did? The doctor took him off the metformin. Guess what happened next? His kidney count starts to drop, and then now he's normal. The kidney counts are normal. So I don't know who wrote that and said that metformin does not. I don't know, maybe it doesn't, but it's sure a coincidence that when he stopped taking it and we got his blood sugar down low enough where the doctor took him off of it, that his kidneys are fine now. Okay, like I said, he was only 2 points away from going on what? Dialysis. You don't want to go that route. All right, okay, so metformin has got a list of all kinds of different side effects. One of them is anxiety and mental issues. It causes dizziness, vomiting, lack of energy. I mean, it just keeps rolling on. So, okay, so now the metformin you've been taking for 3 or 4 or 5 years is no longer really working. Your blood sugar is going back up again to 164, 180, 174, 208. So what does the doctor say? Well, let's go ahead and put you on insulin. Well, guys, when you put synthetic insulin into your body and you're not using your own from your pancreas, that causes issues. Okay, so now we got side effects from not only the type 2 diabetes, but now you're put on insulin, which also has major side effects to it. So now you're double dipping. So you've been on metformin for 9 years. It's no longer working. So of course you got side effects from there. Then all of a sudden they put you on insulin, and what's the first thing most doctors will tell you? Well, just beware. You're gonna gain weight. Okay, and that's exactly what happened. That's one of the major side effects to insulin, is you're going to gain weight. Remember what I told you about the root cause of type 2 diabetes and how to reverse it? I didn't tell you how to reverse it yet, but I told you it was hormonal. Type 2 diabetes basically is driven by what you eat, the time you eat it, and an imbalance of certain hormones. Well, guys, that's one of the hormones. That's one of the number one hormones that you have to take control of is insulin. It's too high. It's spiking. It's what you eat is causing it to spike. And now not only are you a carboholic, well, now they're giving you insulin. That's driving your insulin up. So of course you're gonna gain weight. I don't care how much exercising you guys do. I don't care how much dieting you guys do. You're not going to lose the weight because you're on insulin. Okay, but some of the side effects from that is going to be hypoglycemia, again, anxiety and depression, and also many other side effects. You can look them up yourself. But so. Nothing on the site, nothing on any of these medication sites is telling me that you could reverse type 2 diabetes by taking medication. I haven't found anything yet. And you guys know it doesn't, because those of you that have been on it for 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 years, well, obviously you still have it, right? So how's that working so far? Just think of all the money you're spending. You're spending a lot of money. Now, long term, what if you get a major disease like an ulcer, or they want to cut your foot off? I just talked to a guy a couple days ago where he got his toe. He had to get rid of one of his toes because of a side effect. Or a guy that has an eye. Look at the medical bills you're going to collect. And what's really sad, is science has been telling us for over a decade that, yeah, you can reverse type 2 diabetes and you can get off the medication. That's what we're doing. We're using science in our protocols to get people off the medication and reverse type 2 diabetes, just like Dr. Jason Fawning is doing. He's been doing it for over 10 years on his patients. Dr. Boz, they both these doctors completely changed their protocols on how to treat their patients. Dr. Jason Fung, he stated, he goes, hey, I've been treating my patients wrong for 20 years. I mean, he's embarrassed about it, because now, after over 10 years, he's reversing type 2 diabetes and obesity on a level that's crazy level. So many people are reversing it. And now Emily and I, we've seen it ourselves, because I have my clients do the same kind of monitoring as the doctors do. We monitor your blood glucose very closely, and we watch it go down, okay, as your body gets more adapted to the protocols that we offer, okay? And so obviously the medication isn't working, and it never will work. So, and science has been telling us this for a while now, that in order to reverse your type 2 diabetes, you have to change your lifestyle. That's simple as that, guys. You got to change your lifestyle. You got to change what goes in your mouth. You got to change the time you're eating. And of course, the type of water you're drinking plays a huge part too. And so in the last 2 years, guys, Emily and I have basically, I would say, become specialists in helping people reverse type 2 diabetes. So we've put together a program, which is a type 2 diabetes program to help reverse it, specifically for those of you out there that have type 2 diabetes and want to reverse it, and you want to get off the medication, and you want to lose the weight. See, what happens is, as your blood sugar starts to drop, and as you reverse your type 2 diabetes, the weight falls off. All that body fat, it comes off. That's a byproduct. Simple as that. And like I said, I told you the bad news. You know what the good news is? It can be reversed. Dr. Jason Fung and Dr. Boz and many other doctors are doing it right now. Dr. Jason Fung is teaching other doctors how to do it. Dr. Boz is teaching the public how to do it. You don't need to be a doctor in order to teach somebody how to reverse it, because most of the doctors don't know anyway, and they're not going to tell you because they can't. Remember I said they're governed under the AMA, so their hands are tied. They'll lose their license. So why would they want to even say anything? Because I'm sure some of you are thinking, well, Bill, if science has been doing this for over a decade, or doctors are doing it for over a decade, why don't we know about it? Because your doctor doesn't want, he can't tell you, or he may not even know. It takes health professionals like us to spread the word out there and to actually help people do that. There's a few of us out there that are doing that right now. And some of us are specialized, like Emily and I, we specialize in it. So that's why we offer a program that is a roadmap and gives you all the tools you need, gives you all the structure you need, gives you the accountability you need, because I'm going to follow up on you, and I'm going to hammer you if you're not sending me the information that I need. And we also monitor it with a blood test called a GKI. And that GKI is going to tell me what you're doing. And if you're not doing it right, I'm going to know with your blood test, because what? Blood tests don't lie. And so that's why doctors can't deny the program that we offer, because it's science-backed. And doctors are already doing it. You can't deny it. And besides, when they do their blood glucose levels and their ketone levels on the meter, there's the proof that it works right there. That's what's going to happen, because obviously your blood sugar is going to start to drop. But the key factor is you're going to have to be consistent, and you're going to have to follow the protocols, and it's a no-brainer. Guys, it's a no-brainer how it's going to work, because once you're educated, see, that's another thing. I educate you. I give you training modules explaining why you're doing these things. Why did Bill stop me from eating starchy foods for 12 weeks? It's a 12-week program. Why did Bill take me off of fruit for 12 weeks? You'll learn all that. And I have science in those modules telling you, okay, this is why we're doing it. Okay? So guys, I just want to say one more time, if you have type 2 diabetes, or if you're a pre-diabetic, or if you know somebody that is type 2 diabetic, share this video with them. They need to really understand the seriousness of the disease that they have and what could happen. And those of you that have kids, you don't want your child to be one of those 4.5% every year to get it. And right now, the majority of the families out there, the kids and their lifestyles and the way they're eating, your chances of your child getting type 2 diabetes or even cancer is much, much higher today, because of the environmental toxins are so bad. And the body is being poisoned every single day. That's the bad news. Now the good news is, by changing your lifestyle, changing what you're eating, and then changing when you eat it, and then of course changing the type of water you're drinking, you can reverse all that stuff. Your family will have a better chance of surviving in this toxic world. But if you don't take a hold of your own health, your medical professional isn't going to help you. He's not going to do it. You have to do it yourself family. These little bodies that are subjected to all this toxic chemicals, if your little person contracts type 2 diabetes as a young person, like in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that means that they're going to have it through their whole adult life, and their chances of losing a limb or contracting cancer or some kind of a major disease or side effect most likely is going to happen. So you need to think about that. So I would really think about it and put your health at the top of your to-do list, and don't wait till something happens, which most people are. They're waiting until something happens, and then they contact us, just like this guy that had his foot. He waited till the MRSA had eaten his flesh all the way down to the bone. And then he calls me in and says, well, what can we do about this? Because the wound care doctor, they can't stop it. And I said, I'm not going to give you the particulars on it, but we stopped it. Does it work every time? No, not every time. Most of the time, yeah. But it depends on the person and how consistent they are, because there's not one thing that works. It's like my wife says all the time, it's a puzzle. It's everything. So not only do we have to use a certain solution to kill the bacteria, the MRSA, but we got to change the way your lifestyle is also. Okay, guys? So guys, like I said, share this. Those of you that want to know more information about our program, our type 2 diabetic program that helps reverse it, make a comment in there, diabetes if you would like, and I'll send you some more and we can talk about it. Go to my Weight Loss Made Easy Solution Facebook group page. Join it, because I do have free downloads and videos there also. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is going to be one of my entry videos to our program that we're offering in type 2 diabetes reversing. So I hope you guys got some good information. Now, like I said, I'll put the science at the bottom at the description center, or at the description end of this, so you can see that this is not me talking. It's actually Dr. Boz, Dr. Jason Fong, and all kinds of different science sites, many different science sites. Okay, guys, you guys have a great Saturday, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.